Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are having a relaxing and quiet Anzac Day. Check out my hair. Anyway, day, did I write 8 in the description? Day 8, maybe. And very, very fitting today. So we are looking at Digestzen. Actually, don't have it with me. But Digestzen is the digestive blend that doTERRA have, and it's made up of quite a few different oils that are all made to, well, they all help to calm the digestive system. So the main one you'll probably smell when you smell Digestzen is the fennel in it. You'll probably also be able to smell a little bit of peppermint. So they are all really, really calming for your digestive system. And I actually have a Digestzen story from yesterday. If any of you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen my story that I ended up with food poisoning yesterday, which was so wonderful. And it's times like that where I am so grateful that I use essential oils, because anyone who's had food poisoning before knows it comes on quickly. And it is not kind to you at all. But I have a feeling that it was from a salad that I ate from a cafe near me, which was delicious at the time. But it's the only thing that I'd eaten since breakfast, and breakfast was very safe coconut milk oats. So it had to be the salad, and it had some rice in it, which I know that rice can be really risky, especially if they've bulk cooked it and then not heated it through properly before they've put it in my salad. So I have a feeling that that's what it was. If that's the case, and it was the listeria that did it, then wow, oils were incredibly powerful in helping me out there, because I started to feel unwell and I was feeling so nauseous that, to be honest, the smell of Digestzen was too much. I tried to just smell it to get rid of the nausea, and the smell was making it worse. So then started the symptoms of food poisoning, and I'm not going to go into detail there, but I knew that I had to put it on my stomach straight away. So I grabbed my rollerball bottle. I have the doTERRA Digestzen Touch. I did, before I got that, I just used to make up my own, but just for convenience, I grabbed one of their ones. So I had that and I rubbed it very generously on my stomach and massaged it in a clockwise direction. And then I had a nap. And I probably had maybe a half-hour nap, so it wasn't long at all. And I woke up and I could not believe how much better I felt. Because at the time when I laid down, I thought, this is not going to last. I'm going to have to run back to the toilet. But it did. And my stomach felt just kind of a little bit sensitive for the rest of the day. But that was it. There was no more vomiting from then on. And I didn't even get to use On Guard on my feet, which normally for food poisoning, I would have gone straight for On Guard on my feet and Digestzen on my tummy. But I didn't even have to touch the On Guard. The Digestzen was really, really powerful. So the reason that Digestzen is so useful for things like gastro or food poisoning or something like that is because the blend of oils in it helps to bring your digestive system back to balance. So regardless of what end of the spectrum you are at in terms of your digestive issues, it helps to return it to balance. So I've had a lot of success with my kids, especially my eldest, who has quite a lot of digestive trouble. I've had a lot of success with him using Digestzen, so especially with gastro. Both of my kids got gastro within like 5 days of one another. And consistent use of On Guard on their feet and up their spine, and then Digestzen on their tummies. I think maybe they vomited for 2 hours, maybe 4 or so times in 2 hours. And I was consistent onto them every 20 minutes or so with those oils. And that's it. They were done with gastro. So they got a very mild case of it. And it stops especially the need for them to go to the toilet, not because they're vomiting, but it stops that pretty quickly. So it's pretty amazing. I also started using it because I have a lot of food intolerances, and a lot of the time I can't tell what's going to set off my digestive system. It might be something that I think is completely safe, but maybe on that day I've had a reaction to it. So I might get some cramping, or I tend to get really, really bloated and it's quite sore. And my stomach gets quite hard when that happens. So up until I started using essential oils, there was kind of nothing I could do about it. I just used to have to put up with the pain, and it would become quite uncomfortable to even walk. I would want to kind of bend myself over, fold in half to help the pain. But now that since I started using Digestzen, I can apply that, and within 5 minutes, the pain is gone. So even just something as small as bloating, don't think that you have to have any massive digestive issue to utilize Digestzen really well. If you may have overindulged a little bit at a meal and you rub Digestzen on your stomach, I guarantee you that you're going to see a benefit from it. So that's one way to do it. You can add it to warm water and it will kind of taste a little bit like licorice root tea. You won't need more than 1 drop, and you will need an emulsifier. So something like a tiny bit of apple cider vinegar or something on a teaspoon, the drop of Digestzen, watch it disperse out, and then tip that into your hot water in the same way that I suggested you use lemon oil. What else? It's really good for motion sickness. So if any of you get motion sickness, like I do, big time, mine as I get older actually gets worse. So not only do I get car sick now if I'm not driving, I get motion sickness on trains, I get motion sickness on trams, and believe it or not, if I'm sitting on a swing and swinging with one of my kids, I get motion sickness, which is not convenient. But all I have to do now is, before I get in the car, if I'm the passenger or on the train or something, I will put some Digestzen on my wrists, on my temples, and a little bit under my nose. And the reason I put it on my wrists, 1, there's pressure points there that help with motion sickness. But 2, I often, if I'm not feeling well, I'll often be resting my hand like that on the window, and I can smell my wrist from there. So I do that, and it completely knocks out any motion sickness that I have. Last Friday, I went to the shrine with a group of grade 6 students. There were about 6 of them at the front of the bus that get quite bad motion sickness. So we all put Digestzen on our wrists and a little bit under our noses, and no one got any motion sickness, which all of them said they're guaranteed to generally get it every single time they're on a bus. So it doesn't just work for me, it is actually just really, really effective. Just remember, it's really important that when you rub Digestzen onto your tummy, that you rub in a clockwise direction. So whether you're doing that from a rollerball bottle, or whether you're just putting about 1 or 2 teaspoons of coconut oil or some type of carrier oil, olive oil, sesame oil, anything like that, you add a drop or 2 of Digestzen. I generally only need 1 drop. You still massage that in a clockwise direction. That's the direction that your digestive system, that all the food and everything travels. It's the way that it works. So don't go against, because you're not doing yourself any favors. But if you massage in a clockwise direction, you'll help everything move through your digestive system a lot easier as well. In terms of its emotional properties, it is the oil of digestion. So it's about digesting emotions and feelings and situations, and being able to move through them and process them quicker. So you can put Digestzen into your diffuser. I personally really like the smell of Digestzen. I actually hate the smell of licorice, and I hate the taste of licorice, but I think because I associate Digestzen with relief, I quite enjoy the smell of it. I find it very, very calming. So definitely you can stick it in your diffuser. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes to see if there's anything else that I wanted to cover. I think that's kind of it. It's always one that I keep in my handbag, and it's always one that I take traveling with us. We went to Bali last year. My mum got Bali belly. I've never been so glad that I took On Guard and Digestzen with me, because they were very well used. And for those of you who have experienced Bali belly before, or know someone who has, the usual Bali belly, my mum probably had a bad 2 hours, and then was kind of average for maybe another 10, and then she was done. So the use of the oils and a little bit of activated charcoal mixed in with some water that she drank. She did a drop of On Guard under her tongue as well. Yeah, very, very effective. Remembering that with everything, especially, I find it a lot with Digestzen as well. Remember that oils are metabolized by your body within 2 hours. So if you have something like food poisoning or something like that, like I did, the key is to be consistent. You can't think that it's just going to work miracles. You know, if you were to take something like Imodium, there's a dosage on it and there's how often you can take it. Luckily with essential oils, you don't have to wait 4 hours before you can apply again. If it's not working, apply again. Obviously don't go crazy, but if you've got it in a rollerball or you're doing 1 drop at a time and you're applying maybe every hour to 2 hours, you'll be fine using that on yourself topically. Obviously, if you're doing 1 drop with a carrier oil and massaging it into your stomach and you're doing that hourly, don't do it every single hour for 24 hours. And you won't need to. You will find that after probably a few applications that things will really settle down, especially if you're using it in combination with the other oils that you have that kill any bacteria in your body. So I think that's probably it for Digestzen. It's definitely one if you have rollerballs at home. So this is my little tip for you. If you have glass rollerball bottles, or if you don't, you can go onto, there's a couple of websites. One that I really like because of their quality is aromabottles.com.au. Buy yourself some glass rollerball bottles, preferably the ones with the metal roller. The roller ball are much better. Make yourself a Digestzen blend and keep it in your handbag, because any time where you might be out in public, and I do not know a single person who does not sometimes get a bit of a tummy issue from something that they've eaten if it's not prepared the way that they would normally prepare it. Keep it in your bag. You will thank me later, because rubbing it on your tummy just gets rid of any discomfort, even if it's only slight discomfort. So I hope that was helpful. Tomorrow I'm thinking will probably be tea tree. I think we've only got tea tree and ice blue to go. So I will pop in tomorrow with some little tips for you about how to use tea tree oil. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the public holiday, and thanks for watching.